Hey, take a listen, and then I'm going to quickly talk about it. I know this is random, but I really wanted to.
Thought on this is that I think that trans women have a more beautiful. My truest thought on this is that I think that trans women have a more beautiful understanding what womanhood is. I agree. I think that unfortunately the programming for cis women is it's kind of sad sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
And
yeah.
I'm like, actually, no, your womanhood is not your role. Mm-hmm. Your womanhood is not your status in society, and your womanhood is not your ability to be assaulted.
Yeah.
When you talk to trans women about their womanhood, they talk about it, like, almost gets me choked up. They talk about it in such this like beautiful, expansive way.
Yeah.
Of like it's this feeling I always had.
Yeah.
You know, it's this truth I've always known. It's the most beautiful parts of me. It's my softest self. And I don't feel that from cis women right now because I think the propaganda is so strong.
I agree.
My truest thought on this is that I think that trans women have a more...
Okay, so I know most people get why this is offensive, but a lot of people don't, including surprisingly the person who had this podcast, which is Drew, who is cis woman. And it's surprising that she doesn't understand how this statement is so offensive. Okay. So, and this really comes down to the difficulty that exists with discussing issues around women and trans women and the whole contention between them and society, and even down to the whole men being attracted to trans women. It is such a complicated and nuanced and difficult discussion because you have two or more camps that believe things that are like oxymorons to one another. It's like the way they believe certain things, there's almost no way to find middle ground. Okay? There's no way to find middle ground. Case in point, the whole like if a man is attracted to a trans woman, like that really shouldn't mean anything because she looks like a woman, and if you're attracted to women, you're attracted to women, right? I don't feel like getting into everything. I'm not gonna go down the road because there is such a deep world. Such a deep and dark world, right? But a lot of it does come down to the community that doesn't really believe that the trans community exists or should exist as an actual fact of life, if that makes, and that is wrong. But you have a lot of people who are these ones, fighting against the trans community who really truly believe that. And I just believe people can believe how they want and can live how they want to best feel appreciated and seen, no matter what that looks like. And I'm not invalidating the trans experience as far as you believe that you were born in the wrong body, because now we're taking that as fact, and it is for you, but it's hard for others to understand that or accept that as true, right? So now we're like, okay, well, we just need to just ignore the community that won't acknowledge that as true, because we, as a society, have accepted that that is true, because that is the full experience and perception of these people, and that deserves validation. Oh my gosh. Let's just talk about what's wrong with her statement. Okay? And just keep that in mind, that because some of these camps who are involved in this conversation and in this kerfuffle will never see eye to eye on certain things because of bigotry and just ingrained perception, and keep that in mind, okay? So to say that cis women are like too married to, basically you're saying cis women are hold too tight to being a woman, right? And I guess that's their argument, that because they believe that you are whoever you feel you are, and they have a right to believe that women who are cis and accept being cis don't understand their freedom and not being identified by that. Okay? It's really hard to explain. Okay, so they're too married to their cis identity, is basically what this person's argument is. And because of that, they also are arguing that all of cis women make womanhood look like a horror show, versus trans women who make womanhood look like heaven. Okay? Right? But it's just like, this is the problem. Look, everybody needs to understand that they can live how they want and they can be how they want. But you have to also acknowledge the difference, and you got to stand on the fact that there is difference. There is difference between a cis woman and a trans woman, hence the language cis trans. Y'all came up with the distinction talking to the trans community, so there are clear differences. And I think people who it's a lot of people who are in the trans community who understand that fully and perfectly, right? So to dismiss those differences is to dismiss reality as a whole. Okay, you can be trans, you can be, who you understand yourself to be, despite the body you were born in. But you have to also recognize that there is a difference between your experience and those who were born differently, right? So it's like, it's wrong for cis people to disregard the experience of trans, but it just feels like it coming back on us, and the fact that now trans community are trying to disregard the experience of bio. And a statement like that, if you stand 10 toes down and say it like that, that's what you're doing.